What up, cappers, gamblers, punters? What up, sleuths? Sleuths I haven't heard from in a little while because I have no money coming in. What up, mama? What up, sports fans? And not a day goes by where I don't long for Central American hookers. Let's get to today's action because today is so fucking exciting. There has not been a day this exciting since May 5th, 2015, that they started with the Kentucky Derby, and then we had Game 7 Clippers-Spurs, and then we had the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight, which turned out to be a fucking bore. But that's not going to happen today. Today's going to be extremely exciting. I have some fucking business I have to take care of up north. So I've got to go on a fucking drive. I won't be able to watch these races live. I might be able to stop. There's a couple casinos on the way up that I might be able to stop at. So as soon as this video is over, I'm going to go down to the Chinatown off-track and I will be placing my bets. I will also be doubling down and placing these bets with my bookie. My bookie uses Bet365 and the odds are very different in Bet365. And that's what we'll be talking a little bit about today, about finding value. So for instance, the big sprint that is happening today is a very, very exciting race. And there's a horse that I love named Mind Your Biscuits who I want to bet on. So Mind Your Biscuits is not even the favorite. He's 3-1 in Saratoga. The favorite is Dre Fong, who's 2-1. The reason why Dre Fong is the favorite is because there's no pace in a sprint, which is unheard of. So Dre Fong will have the pace all to himself, can run a slow pace, and put himself in a perfect situation to go wire to wire. But Bet365 is a European book. And all the European handicappers remember Mind Your Biscuits winning the Golden Shaheen in Dubai 4 or 5 months ago. And when he won that, it was just absolutely incredible. It was a multi-million-dollar race. And their recency bias, their vividness bias. So Mind Your Biscuits is plus 100 on Bet365, where he's plus 300 or 3-1 in Saratoga. So today is all about finding value. So when I give you these horses, I want you to find the book that gives you the best number because they change. It's just so wild how different each book will be. But let's get to today's action because I want to start off with what's most exciting to me, and that is the Travers Stakes. This is a monster race with 12 horses that all have, or they don't all have a shot. Let's say 8 or 9 of them have a shot at winning this thing. All 3 winners of the Triple Crown races will be in this race, and the favorite is at 7-2. I've got a horse, a live horse that I fucking love at 8-1. And that is a rarity in the sport when you love a horse with that kind of giant number to make that kind of giant cash. There's a second horse I like at 5-1. Let's start capping, going through the numbers. And also, when you hear me break down some of these horses, there may be a horse that sounds like something you like when I break it down. And I won't always make the right decisions with my gambling. So feel free to, if you like something that I'm dropping, then go take it to the fucking bank and make that cash. Let's go through it. All right, Travers Stakes, running at 5:44 Eastern time today. There is so much money to be made in this race. And again, it's about finding value. This 3-year-old division, when you're handicapping horses, the 3-year-old division changes rapidly, drastically. It's always changing. You can't get stuck on one horse. Like Orb a few years ago wins the Kentucky Derby, doesn't win another race for the rest of his life. You've got to keep changing with the times. You can't just get stuck on one horse that you like because he won for you because it changes so fast. These are 3-year-olds. Last year, Arrowgate came into this race as an unknown. He went off at 11-1, went wire to wire, broke the track record, won by 12 lengths, went on to win the Eclipse Award. So let's do this. So the first thing I'm going to do, which is extremely exciting for me, is I'm going to disregard all 3 winners of the Triple Crown races. Let's start with the favorite, Taprit, who's at 7-2. This colt has not raced in 11 weeks. It is not unprecedented for a horse to take this kind of a break and then win the Travers. It's happened twice before, but it is a rarity. Now, Todd Pletcher, who is Taprit's trainer, says that he's galloping out after each training run and blah, fucking blah, fucking blah. I think it's a risky move that he's making. It's a long break. He won the Belmont Stakes. That was a race I called. I got him at 5-1. Not only myself, but a bunch of my friends made a lot of money that day. It was very exciting. But that race lacked the Derby winner and the Preakness winner, and it was a weak field. We didn't know how weak of a field it was at the time. But 7 of the 10 horses Taprit beat that day have come back and run, and 6 have lost. The only one to come back and win was Twisted Tom, and he was a desperate winner of the New York Derby over New York breds at Finger Lakes. It doesn't even really count. So when you put a line through the favorite, in any horse race that you're gambling on, when you put a line through the favorite, you give yourself a chance to win a lot of money. I'm also disregarding the Kentucky Derby winner, Always Dreaming, who is at 6-1. He won the Kentucky Derby on a wet track in a race where his biggest rivals crashed into each other right out of the gate. Now, I had Always Dreaming to win that race, and it was another race where we made a lot of money. At the time, I thought Always Dreaming was a really good horse, but that race was just set up too easily for him. Since then, he's looked so bad on 2 fast tracks. So he wins on a sealed wet track and then looks terrible in 2 fast tracks. So he just ran in the Jim Dandy Stakes. That was ran here at Saratoga at the Spa last month. Always Dreaming put himself in a really nice position. He took the lead, and it was a slow pace. He should have wired the field, but he faded in the last quarter mile of that race. I do not think Dreaming will do anything today. I think he's going to put himself in a perfect position where if you were betting on Always Dreaming, you'd think you've got this race locked up, and I think he will fade. That brings us to the Preakness winner, Cloud Computing. That race, his only win, was set up absolutely perfect for him. Always Dreaming went out for a big lead, and someone had to go at him or he was just going to wire the field. That someone was Classic Empire, who expended all of his energy reeling in Always Dreaming. After putting away Dreaming, he was ripe for the picking, and Cloud Computing beat him by a head after clearly running the second best race. And I wish, the only thing this race is missing is Classic Empire, who has not been training well and is a fucking mess. I know they have tiny brains, but it looks like Classic Empires is even smaller than the rest. So both Always Dreaming and Cloud Computing were awful in the Jim Dandy. They both tired, and the fact that they were involved in a 3-way photo for minor pieces of the purse with a horse named Pavel, whose only prior start was a maiden sprint win, is not to their credit. Okay, we've done the dirty work. We've put a line through 3 of the favorites. That is a very, very big thing to do in a horse race. If you can do something like that, you're putting yourself in a chance where you can win a lot of money. Another big favorite who could turn out to be this year's Arrowgate is a horse who didn't run in any of the Triple Crown races, a horse named West Coast. He's won 3 straight races, including the Grade 3 Los Alamitos Derby. He has never raced against horses of this quality. 4 races back, he was in the Grade 3 Lexington Stakes. He lost by a head to Senior Investment. If Senior Investment was in this race, he would be at 20-1. Now, Baffert pulled this same trick last year with Arrowgate. So West Coast will get a lot of money bet on him. None of it will come from my pocket. So here's a good example. All the European handicappers remember what Baffert did with Arrowgate last year. So on Bet365, West Coast is the favorite in this race at plus 275, where he's 4-1 down in Saratoga. McCracken is also in this race. He broke the track record in Tampa in February. He was in the clear in the Haskell Invitational. Easily was going to win, and he was run down by Gervin. Gervin is in this race and is a quality horse. I like Gervin a lot. Gervin was in the clear in the Ohio Derby when a heavily boxed-in horse finally found some running room on the outside and got free. This horse was boxed in the whole time. Gervin was taking off in the stretch for an easy win, and finally this one horse broke out and ran him down. That horse was IRAP, who is my pick to win the Travers Stakes. Number 10, IRAP, will be going off at 8-1. IRAP lost the Kentucky Derby by 40 lengths. He didn't like the wet ground. His jockey, Super Mario Gutierrez, knew he had no chance, and he didn't push him. He just let him just canter around. Who cares, right? You have no chance of winning. Let's not push him. This horse needed to develop both physically and mentally. He's a big, good-looking son of Tiznow. He just needed to find himself. He was so much stronger than the other horses, and it just took a little while for him to be comfortable in his own skin. So after he loses by 40 lengths, he goes in and he has huge wins in the Ohio and Indiana Derbies. This is the manifestation of his development. He is likely to get a great trip because there's very little early speed. Always Dreaming is going to go out to the lead. IRAP's going to come out because Always Dreaming is, I believe, in the 7 hole. IRAP's in the 10 hole. IRAP's going to be just behind his back hip on the outside of him. And when the timing is right, he's going to pounce. It is not often that the horse you like best sits at 8-1. This is an opportunity to make a lot of money. Now, there was a horse that I had liked before these hours of studying that I did last night. And I still like the horse. And I will be putting a smaller amount on this horse to win. That horse, and I will be exactor boxing this horse with IRAP. The horse I'm talking about is number 5, Good Samaritan. He was a really good turf horse. And his trainer, Bill Mott, was waiting for the right time to try him on dirt. And he did that last month in the Jim Dandy Stakes, where he blew away both Always Dreaming and Cloud Computing. Bill Mott used the same strategy with another horse you may have heard of named Cigar. Cigar went from a good turf horse to one of the best dirt horses of all time. Good Samaritan has an absolute huge late kick. You may see this horse absolutely flying late. So we have a 12-horse field with a horse with long odds like IRAP at 8-1. There is no reason not to take IRAP across the board. That's a win-play show bet. You can take him to win for the big score, but I'm going to take him across the board because with a 12-horse field, if he comes second or even third I'll probably get my money back. Second, I will definitely make money. And then first, I will make a lot of money. I'm not going to do that on Good Samaritan, but that would be a great bet on Samaritan as well. You're only getting 5-1 on Samaritan. I'm going to bet Samaritan to win. But I'm going to be exactor boxing Good Samaritan and IRAP, the 10-horse and the 5-horse. Good Samaritan and IRAP. Now, if that exactor box comes in, the $2 exactor box will pay over $100. So you can imagine that you might want to put $5 exactor box or $10 exactor box, because I bet you a $10 exactor box, 10-5 will pay $1,000. And I need a big score like that. So that's how I've broken down the Travers Stakes today. I love IRAP, and I think you're getting a huge number on him. And I'm going to take that to a fucking bank. I like Good Samaritan a lot. I'm going to put a smaller bet on him and exactor box those two. And I couldn't be more fucking excited for 5:44 Eastern Standard Time for the Travers Stakes. Okay, the next is my lock of the day. And that's in the race right after the Travers Stakes. The Bolton Spa, the Grade 1 Bolton Spa. The best female turf horse in the world, Lady Eli, will be running with Irad Ortiz Jr. in the reins. You will not get even money on her. She's 4-5 at Saratoga and -125 on Bet365. She also comes up very late in her races, but she always comes through. She is my favorite mare in the world. She developed laminitis last year after stepping on a nail, and we all thought that she was going to die. She was certainly never going to race again. Somehow, and it was like touch and go there, where we were getting hourly updates, and we were all expecting her to die. And she survived. And then after about a few months, 3 or 4 months, they started training her again, which we thought was just kind of as a gift back to her because she'd given so much to her trainers and her owners. And she started looking pretty good. And now she's back. And she's got the heart of a champion. And I just fucking love Lady Eli with all of my heart. And if you put a lot of money on her today, which I will be doing, you may have a heart attack watching how late she waits to come up for the win. But you will win. That is Lady Eli. That she, I believe, is the number 1 horse. I do think that's right. She's number 1, and we'll go over the numbers again at the end. In the 12th race, number 1, Lady Eli is my lock of the day. So we're going to go down in order through the other stakes races because there's so many incredible stakes races on the card. Race 10 is the Grade 1 Sword Dancer. Now, I will be taking number 5, Money Multiplier, at 7-2. There are 2 European invaders that are coming in, and they will be the co-favorites. So they're Erupt and Idaho. It's not easy to come overseas and race here in America. Our turf is much harder than their soft pussy turf in Europe. They have each raced once in North America, and I was there. It was last year here at Woodbine. Erupt won that race at 12-1, and I didn't have Erupt. Idaho was the big favorite and failed to menace and came 5th. Money Multiplier just had an incredible prep race. So he was off since the Breeders' Cup turf, and then he was off so that was in November, so he's off for 6-7 months. He comes out in the Monmouth Stakes last out and dominated and didn't even push hard. She is ready to fire. So I have got Money Multiplier, and I'm very confident in this horse. But these European horses are stars. This might be another situation where you don't necessarily need, you could take Money Multiplier to win place, so that if she comes second, then you at least make a little bit of money and cover your loss if she doesn't win, if one of these European horses comes up. But I really like Money Multiplier at 7-2. If these 2 European horses weren't in this race, she would be 3-5. Okay, so in race 9 is the Forgo Stakes. Now this is the sprint I was talking about earlier. I love Mind Your Biscuits, but it's about finding value. So I'm going to have to put more money with the little bit of liquidity that I have because I can't take her at plus 100. That makes no sense. So I can't put this bet through my bookie. I have to put it through the machine. It's just the only way I can do it. Now, there is a big problem in this race. If Mind Your Biscuits gets this done, he's clearly the best sprinter in the world. There's no early speed in a sprint, and I don't ever remember that. Usually there's so much early speed in a sprint, so Dre Fong will have the pace all to himself. Now, there's a horse named Divining Rod who's giving a ton of value at 5-1, and it's even bigger on Bet365. It was plus 550 last time I looked. If Divining Rod can win here, he will cement himself as a major player in this division. And a lot of the handicappers, horse handicappers that I follow, a bunch of them have Divining Rod because they think that's where they're getting the most value. And it always comes back down to that, who's getting the most value. Now, I'm going to take Mind Your Biscuits because I think Mind Your Biscuits is the best sprinter in the world, and I just hope that they can run a 21-4 or a 22 flat at the slowest, because if they run a 22-4, I don't know who can catch Dre Fong in that situation. Race 8 is the Grade 1 Jerkins, and I love number 1, Practical Joke. He is undefeated around one turn, but he's been running longer races, mile and a bit. This is a race that's right in his wheelhouse. I will be taking him to win at 5-2. Now, Baffert has a great horse in this race named American Anthem, who has won his last 3 races with ease. American Anthem will have a lead, but there's other speed in this race, and I hope they battle each other and go to very, very fast times, because then Practical Joke will take care of business late. So Songbird is running in the Personal Ensign in race 6, but we'll get to that in a second because we have race 7, the Ballerina Stakes. Now this is a very tough race. I'm going to be taking Paula Silver Lining to win. She's so malleable. She can put her in all sorts of different spots. She is the female sprinting champion in America. Now, I think you're only going to get about 2.5 to 1 on her. I'm not going to put a huge amount of money on her to win, but I will be betting on Paula Silver Lining, the 3 to win the Ballerina Stakes. And then the Personal Ensign is race 6. Now, this will just be to watch. Songbird's in this race, and it's a small field of 5 horses. She's going to be 2 to 5. There is a horse, I think, that could beat Songbird, but not today because there's no pace. Songbird's going to have the pace all to herself, and she's going to win easily because she's going to set that pace. So, okay, so let's go over it again. So, race 7, I have number 3, Paula Silver Lining. Race 8, I have number 1, Practical Joke, who is 4 for 4 around one turn. Nice to have him back around one turn, see what he can really do. Race 9, I have number 6, Mind Your Biscuits. Remember, find value if you're going to take this horse because just Dre Fong controlling the pace puts us in a tough spot. Race 10, number 5, Money Multiplier. Remember, those European invaders are dangerous, but I found if I disregard the Euros, I make more money in the long run than giving them too much respect when they're not comfortable on our hard turf. Race 11, the Travers Stakes. I have number 8, IRAP. I'm going to bet heavy on. And then I have number 5, Good Samaritan, that I'll bet smaller on. And then I'm going to exactor box both 8 and 5. And then race number 12, the lock of the day, number 1, Lady Eli. Okay, now let's go into the Mayweather-McGregor super fight. Everybody has a different idea of what Mayweather's going to do to McGregor. I believe that Money May will be very cautious and simply outclass McGregor. Other people don't think this is going to happen. Other people think he's going to knock the fuck out. He's going to just destroy McGregor easily. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that Mayweather will be very cautious and will just outclass him. And also, I have never seen a white guy beat up a black guy in my life. I hate to bring it to these simple terms, but I have not. I mean, without a club and a police uniform, obviously. McGregor will have neither a club or a police uniform and will get beaten up badly. I have Money Mayweather to win in a decision. So I'm putting $300 on Money Mayweather on it by a decision at plus 275. In baseball, I am keying the New York Yankees and Sonny Gray over the Mariners because I fade Giovanni Gallardo like you guys should be fading my baseball picks. I have $500 parlays to start my day. I have the Yankees Rangers at plus 182. So that's Cole Hamels versus Sean Manaea. Sean Manaea has been given some extra rest and that might help him, but I like this situation. I have the Yankees Nationals at plus 122. Gio Gonzalez is pitching for the Nationals, and I think that the Mets without Conforto should probably be faded every day. I have the Yankees White Sox at plus 177. It's Carlos Rodon versus Buck Farmer. And Rodon is pitching very, very well of late. And I have the Yankees Tampa Bay Rays at plus 223. Blake Snell is coming into his own in his last couple starts after not winning a game all year, being sent down to the minors, starting out 0-6. I love the way Blake Snell is pitching, so I got Tampa in that game. He's going up against the Cards in my league, but I think that's a nice spot. They're at plus 110. And my next game is the Giants at plus 105. Madison Bumgarner at plus 105. I can't help but take him as an underdog. And I know Arizona has trouble hitting lefties, although that's all they've been facing for the last 4 or 5 days, so maybe they'll be in a better spot to combat their issues with lefties. I'm getting New York, San Francisco at plus 215. That's my shit, man. That is my action. Let me know what you guys are up to. Hit me at Jimmy the Bag on Twitter. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out, jimmythebag.com. Other than that, let's make this fucking money. Let's milk these bookies. Good luck out there. This is the biggest day of the year. Please, whatever you do, have a lot of fun today and enjoy the moment because there's not many days like this. So whether or not you win or lose, put a fucking drink up in the air and cheers everybody and spread a lot of love because this is what we live for. This is going to be just a fucking wonderful day. Win or lose. I hope I fucking win. I need to win. But win or lose. I need to fucking win. Okay. I love you guys, man. Thank you for watching. Good luck out there. Get that cash.